Hello, welcome back to another lesson of our school-based assessment system. And we are going to continue with our previously saved work. So we're not wasting time. Let me quickly open our Excel worksheet and then let's quickly continue. So yesterday we were able to complete with the entries of what? Our TR1, that's the terminal report 1. So let's look at how best we can put in simple formulas. So yesterday we created what? The sub 130%, sub 170, sub 100 up to what? The grade, remark, and then rank. Then we have that for, or we did it for sub 1 to what? Sub 9. So we are going to look at how best we can put in formulas to calculate, or how to calculate those what? The scores. So let's look at where the student ID is. So we are going to make reference to our student list or information list. So you select the student ID, then you press what is equal to, then you go to where your student information sheet is. Okay, so you select it, then you select the ID 1, so you click on it, then you hit what? Enter. So the system will automatically what? Generate the ID, then that of what? The name, class, house, number on row, date of birth, and then admission, nationality. So this is what you have to do. You are not going to do it for all the rows or the columns. So as you have done for the first one, you select, then you drag to where the nationality is. Okay, and then after that you do what? Autofill. So you double click to fill it. So either you double click or you drag to the last what? Student. Okay, 100. Okay. Okay, so that's that. Then you can do what? You can do it with center alignment. But for the name, okay, let's maintain. Okay, so let's see. Then you come to where the date is. Then you go to where the general is. Then you select what? Long date. So let me show you that one again. Others are complaining how to enter the long date. So you select the date. Look at this one. You select the date, you go to general at this side, then you click on it, then you select what? Long date. Okay, so you just do what? Autofill. But the date there is not correct, so you have to do what? Change the date. Okay, then you have what? Admission date. That one too, you have to do what? Change it. So you select it, go to general, then you change it from general to what? To long date. Okay, then you do your autofill. Okay, so that's how we change the date. The nationality thing is okay. Then let's get sub 130, sub 170, sub 100, the grade, rank, and then remarks. How to do that? So we are going to make reference to our the 81 subject sheet that we do what? We created. So this is how we go about it. You come to this side, then you select what is equal to, then you go to sub 1, because we are doing for first term. So you are going to select what? Sub 1-1, then you click on it. So this is what? Sub 1-1. We are going to pick only the 30, 70, 100, rank, grade, and then remarks. So I'll just do a hit on this. That's where the 30 is. Then I'll click on what? Enter. Okay, so when I'm done with that one, I'll drag to where the remarks is. So you are not going to do it one after the other. When you do for the first one, then you drag to where the remarks is. Then you do your autofill. Okay, that's that. because since there's no figures here, that's why you see what 0 0. Then the grade 2 is what 9. Okay, so when you're done with that one too, you go to the next what subject, that's sub 2. So for sub 2, that one too, we are going to make reference to the second subject what created. So you go to, so this sub 1-1. So you are not going to use sub 1-2. No, you are going to use what sub 2-1. So that's what second subject for the first what term. So you select that one. So let's locate our sub 2. So this what sub 2-1. That's subject 2 for first what term. So this is how you do it. You select what the sub 2 30%, then select is equal to, or you press what is equal to, then you come to where your sub 2-1 is, then you select your 30%. So you select your 30%. So you select it and then you hit on what enter. Then after that you drag to where your remarks is, then you do autofill remarks, then autofill. Okay, then you go to where the sub 3 is, that one too is equal to, then you come to sub 3-1. So you locate what sub 3-1, that's subject 3 term 1. Then you click on it, then you select the 30%. So this is the 30%. Select it and then you hit what enter. Then you drag to where the remarks is. So you drag, okay, then you do autofill. Okay, so this is for sub 3. Then you do the same for sub 4. So it's equal to, then you locate your sub 4-1. Sub 4-1. Okay, so this is sub 4-1. Then you select your 30%. Then you hit what enter. Then you drag to where your remarks is. Okay, then you do autofill. Then you do the same for sub 5. So it's equal to, then you go to where your sub 5 is. So you locate sub 5-1. Okay, then you select your 30%. Then you hit on enter. Then you drag to where your remarks is. Then you do autofill. Then you come to sub 6 is equal to, then you locate your sub 6-1. Sub 6-1. Okay, this sub 6-1. So I'll click on it, then select the 30%. Then I'll hit on enter. Then you drag to where your remarks is. Then you do autofill. It takes a lot of time, but you have to take your time and then do it. Then you come to sub 7-30 is equal to, then you locate sub 7-1. So we are doing this one for only the first term. So when you are done with it, you have to create what copies of it for the other terms. So when you are done with the first term, you are not going to do for the other ones. Just a matter of what creating a copy of it for the subsequent terms. So we are now on what sub 7. So sub 7-1. Then you locate your 30%. You hit on enter. Then you drag to remarks. Okay, then sub 8 is equal to, then you locate your sub 8-1. Sub 8-1. Okay, here is it. Then I'll select what, sub 130, or sub 30%. Okay, then I'll hit on enter. Then you drag to where your remarks is. Then you autofill. Then you come to the next one, that's sub 9. So it's equal to, you locate your sub 9, sub 9-1. Then you locate your 30% for sub 9. Then you hit on enter. Then you drag to where your remarks is. Then you autofill. Okay, so that's how we do it. It's very simple, but it takes a lot of time. So anytime you enter the student information or the student scores, then the system automatically will change it for you. So let's look at how best we can do that of the student average score. The student average score. So this is what we are going to do. With this one, you go to functions. Go to functions. So let's see. So you select formulas. Then you go to a function. Then you select or you type average. There are some of you, they are saying their VLOOKUP is not appearing. So you type average. But the average is there. So if you find it there, don't waste your time typing it. But if you don't find it, you have to type it to look for it. So you have average. After typing average, then you click on go. Okay, it's there already. So I'll just, let me do it again. So I'll select what's the problem. So we have average, and then I'll click on okay. So let's see. After it comes, then we are going to do select subject 100%, subject 200%, subject 300%, up to the 9th subject in that order. So you come to this side, then you select come to where your subject 100% is. So this is subject 100%. Then we come to the next one. So let's see. Let me start. So let me delete this one, then this one too. So we are going to look for the average of sub 100% to that of sub 9. So sub 100%. Okay, then you select it. After selecting it, you come to the next one. Then we have sub 200%. Then you select that one too. So as you are selecting it, look at where your formula bar is. It's changing, it's adding. So the first one you have K2, the next one is Q2. Then let's get that of sub 300%. So you come to the next, that's number 3, this side. So sub 300%. Select it. So whether you do it at this place, or you can come to where your formula bar is. Then you type look at this one. After W2, you type comma. Then you select sub 400%, comma, sub 500%, comma, in that order. You can also do it at this place. So let's see. We are now moving on to which one? Sub 400%. So this sub 400%. Select it. Then you go to sub 500%. This sub 500%. Then let's see. Let's try this one too and see. So after this, come to this side, then you bring what, comma. Then the next one is what, sub 6 100%. Then you bring your comma. Then we go to the next one, that's sub 7 100%. Select it. Then you bring comma. Then you go to sub 8 100%. You select comma. Then we have sub 9 100%. Then select OK. So let's count and see if we get 9 subjects. So we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, so that's the average or average student or score. So you do autofill. Then you come to class average or score. So the class average score to, you type is equal to, then you go to where your function is, or you can easily type it like is equal to, then type what, average. So average. Then you click on what, student. That's the student what, average score. This one, student average score. Then you drag to the last student. So after typing is equal to average, then you type this side, student average score. Then you drag to the last 100 students. So that's where the 100 will be. When you're done with that one, then you bring your hot, you close the bracket, then you hit on enter. So let's see, we have what, 0.87. so you have to make it what, absolute what, reference. So this is how we do it. So you select it, what is in the bracket, then you press on what, F4. Okay, then you autofill. No, I made a mistake. Let me correct this one. So undo. So let me do the average score again. So let me use the function. So insert function. Then I'll select what, average. Then OK. Then where am I looking it for? We have the average what, score. Select it and then you drag to the last student. Then you make it what, absolute what, reference. That's F4. And hit on OK. Okay. I've seen it. So let's see. You have to enter before you do what? You do the autofill. I'll make it what, absolute reference. So let's see. It's equal to average. And okay. Where are we looking it from? That is student average score. Then you drag to the last student. Then you click on what? OK. Then let's see, you autofill. Then after that, you select the first one. Then you make it what, absolute reference. Let's see, that one will work. So you press on what, F4. Hit OK. Then let's autofill and see what's the problem. Okay, undo. Let me select this one to autofill. Let me make it absolute reference. F4. Hit on enter. And then let's autofill and see. Okay, I think that one will work. Since I've entered number there, so it's making reference to that what number. That's why it tends to what 0.87. So that's why when you are designing it, don't be in a rush to put in what so many values. Rather than that, it will make your work very difficult. So because of the number that I entered, that's why it was giving me that what values. So I need to do for the first one and then do for the second one. But before doing it, when you press on what enter, then you make it what autofill, then you select the first one, then do it what make it absolute reference in that what order. So the next thing we look at is what grand total scores for the student. Grand total scores for the student, and that one too, we are going to use a simple formula. So you type is equal to, after that you go and select what sub 100%, sub 200%, up to subject 900%. So is equal to, then you locate your subject 100%, then plus. So this one we are going to use the addition, we are going to add them. So we have subject 100%, then select it, and then plus subject 200% plus subject 300%, then plus, made a mistake somewhere. Let me start over again, because looking at the formula we have only 2 there. So is equal to, then you select subject 100%. Where is my subject 1? Okay, so this one, then hit your plus sign, subject 200%, plus sign, subject 300%, the plus sign, then subject 400%, plus sign, subject 500%, plus sign, subject 600%, plus sign, then subject 700%, your plus sign, subject 800%, you hit plus sign, then the last one, that's subject 900%. Then let's see if we get a 9 subject. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, then you hit on enter. So you do your autofill. So that's how we calculate the grand total score for students. So we have the student average score, class average score, grand total score for students. So the next thing we look at is what rank in class, then grand total score class. This one is for the student, grand total score for student, and then in the class what will be his grand total score. So I'll end here, then in our next class we look at how best we can enter the formulas for calculating rank in class, grand total score, then the sub 1 aggregate, sub 2 aggregate, in that order up to the total aggregate. So stay blessed.